Dan Hoard under the UC practice bubble, where the annual spring football game had to be moved indoors this year due to the unseasonably cold and wet weather. Unfortunately, that meant that Bearcat fans couldn't watch, but there were some noteworthy spectators in attendance, namely Sauce Gardner, Desmond Ritter, and Alec Pierce, 3 of as many as 9 players from last year's team that could be NFL draft picks in about 3 weeks.
I just think it goes to show the chemistry, camaraderie, and the family and the stuff that we have really built here over the past few years since Coach Fick and I and our class first got here, man. I don't see it going nowhere but up from here, and it's a nice thing to see. I don't believe a lot of teams around the country really have that. A lot of guys kind of go off on their own, do their own thing, kind of stay out the way. But Dave has been here at some point, coaching up a little bit, and it's nice to see, man. It's comfortable,
That's the kind of things to me that we want to create here in an environment, not just winning, but the environment that this is a family, this is your home. When we say you own it, you represent it, and basically you live this rest of your life, and that's what we want our guys to do.
The big storyline this spring has been the quarterback battle between Evan Prater and Ben Bryant. They alternated between the first and second string on Saturday, and both faced a relentless pass rush.
The defense was coming in hot today. It's always kind of back and forth throughout the spring with the O&D, and they really brought it to us today.
I mean, they're a dominant force up front. They lost a lot of guys, and I think the guys that we have back are just as good, or if not better. And I think that group has grown a lot over this spring, and the whole defense, and I think those linebackers are doing something special as well. So I'm excited to see what happens when we get to fall.
Prater threw a pair of long touchdown passes to Tyler Scott and tight end Chamon Metayer. Metayer also caught a red zone touchdown pass from Bryant.
My relationship with the quarterback has just been great this whole spring, for real. And he trusts me, and I trust him to make the right decisions. When it comes to me, I'm coming down with the ball. Feel good to be Bearcat, be able to bang the drum 6 times, keep the tradition going.
The spring game did not mark the end of spring football, as the Bearcats will hold 2 more practices next week.
The whole idea was that this isn't the end of spring ball. We still have 2 practices left, and I told him at the end, there's a reason for it, because this is the greatest opportunity we have to evaluate all that we do. And I don't just mean that as players, I mean as coaches. And a lot of times when you end with a spring game or a spring scrimmage and then you go right out recruiting, you don't have an actual time to really evaluate, to actually, fine comb, go through every single thing that we do. They came out, they competed today. They would have loved to have been outside and been in live action the whole time, but nonetheless, I think all in all, the thing we were looking for was a healthy competition. Those guys that compete against each other, but have the emotional control to not let it control them.
The spring game ended with a presentation of the Bobby Dodd Trophy, one of 8 National Coach of the Year awards won by Coach Fickell last year. With the Bearcats at the spring football game, I'm Dan Hoard for GoBearcats.com.